Hello, I'm Sheri. I'm the founder of Harley Therapy Clinics, co-founder of Harley Therapy Platform. My background in mental health started off a long time ago. I was introduced to the possibility of going to therapy when I was 17 years old, and I took up that invitation, and it really was life-changing. And as most therapists find that when they've had the personal experience themselves, they're very interested in the field and often go on to do a training. So I skirted around my earlier experiences in investment banking, which didn't quite appeal to me. I studied social anthropology, which for me was inherently fascinating because I really enjoy learning about people, and in particular, the healing process of how we can work with psychological distress and healing. And then from then I went on to study and train to become a therapist. So that was in 1999. And shortly after, well, many years of doing volunteer work, and then started up in private practice. So I feel very fortunate that growing up in North America, therapy was quite accepted. And there were a number of family members who were in therapy already. And this seemed like a natural sort of thing to be able to do. So I felt lucky to have been exposed to that early on, as well as just taking interest in the writings of Freud and Jung, also from quite a young age. So the thread has been there quite continuously. But shortly after doing sort of earlier work experience in the field of therapy, I felt it very important to try and maybe create something where I could work with like-minded practitioners who placed a lot of emphasis on the depth of care. So rather than short-term quick fixes, who were more interested in prolonged work with someone. And I really value, and as do most of the team today, the importance of a long-term therapeutic relationship as ultimately being a driver to a lot of change. The mission of Harley Therapy is very straightforward. We want to help as many people as we can through high-quality therapy. And our vision is a world where there's less prolonged emotional suffering and where people have access to really high standards of care. Our values are that we're hardworking, dependable, growth-oriented, where we believe that growth is possible and change with the support of someone very dedicated. And this really sits through most of the work that we do. It's really, I think, colored by this element of care and concern for others and wanting them to be able to transform their lives. The team of therapists that we have working from the rooms at Harley Therapy are, in my humble opinion, outstanding. It is a real privilege to be able to work with them and to see how much they support and help their clients to grow and flourish. They're very diverse in their styles, whether it's a therapeutic approach that they use, whether it's their experience and previous workplaces, or indeed their personalities. But what really unites them all and is a thread throughout all of their work is that depth of care and heart that they offer and bring to their clients. Quality is so central to us and guides almost every decision that we make within the group. So quality standards start right from the outset in terms of the practitioners and indeed the support staff that we choose to work with. And by having the what we consider very compassionate and very client-focused members of the team, were then able to offer a very high quality of service to the practitioners. And we believe that this is reflected in a lot of the reviews and feedback that we get, that level of care really runs through, and that clients feel very contained, very supported, and ultimately championed to go on and to do really beneficial inner work. We've tried to make the booking process as straightforward as we can. We've harnessed technology, and therefore anyone can book round the clock on the website, making a straightforward choice as to which therapist, which practitioner they want to see. I would say most people actually make use of our extremely dedicated medical administrators who can guide them in helping to find the right therapist on the team for them, which can involve asking certain questions about what they're particularly looking for and what they're going through to make a suitable match. There's no single therapeutic approach that we use at Harley Therapy. The therapists work from our rooms and we facilitate the referrals for them, and we try and make a suitable match wherever possible. In most cases, therapists will tailor their treatments to the individual. They will do what we call a formulation. Sometimes that rounded overview of the client's concerns and presenting history might take a few sessions, but even within the first session, many people will notice that they have that they felt lighter and at ease, and that initial one, maybe two sessions can be therapeutic in their own right. Of course, we very much value and emphasize long-term care, and the reason for doing so is that we're then able, as an individual in therapy, you're able to sort of make progress from week to week and over time, sometimes many months, many years. I liken it to going to the gym, whereby if you just do an intense, let's say 6-week program, yes, you may have more definition, but in order to keep that on a sustained basis, it can be really useful to continue to go regularly. Mental health, I think, by definition, sort of invokes diversity, because every individual is unique and all our suffering is unique as well. It takes various different guises. So the therapists on the whole are generalists, and they're able to work very competently with whatever presenting issues come up before them. New clients can expect, when they come to the clinics for their first session, hopefully an inviting, warm and containing feel and environment. Our rooms are designed to create a level of comfort and ease, and the therapists are genuinely interested in hearing more about what is troubling you and do want to help. So I'd like to read just a couple of recent reviews that have come through, just to demonstrate a flavor of what it's like to come and see one of the therapists. For a professional to be considered outstanding in their field, they must have both the skills and passion for that profession, and I was privileged to have met my therapist who had both of these prerequisites. I came at my lowest when my life was crumbling into pieces, and as a result, I was severely depressed and had other mental health issues. I had lost a lease of life and felt completely hopeless. My therapist was the angel that saw me through the lowest part. She was compassionate, empathetic, sympathetic, and extremely understanding. Most importantly, she had incredible therapeutic knowledge, excellent skills which helped me stay afloat while struggling to give myself another opportunity in life. Healing is a journey, and she has successfully put me towards that path. She has not only been part of my journey, but also part of my healing process. Thank you very much. And another one, my therapist is nothing short of extraordinary. Over the years, she has challenged me to take accountability for my actions, act with intention, and learn to accept myself for who I am. She has helped me transform my world from within and supported me through the unease of stepping outside of my comfort zone. I feel light, grateful, and at peace. Cannot imagine doing this work with anyone else. So to me, that's just a reflection of the level of care that the therapists provide, and the level perhaps of engagement that our clients have as well, because therapy can be a commitment and it can involve a lot of hard work. Having said that, often when clients come for the first session, they're quite surprised at how natural it was to speak with their therapist, and they often question why they didn't start before. From the beginning, Harley Therapy has been a big advocate of mental health, trying to make it a mainstream topic, a positive one, trying to make psychological health as important as our physical health. We've written a lot about it, we've spoken a lot about it, and we think that and hope that we've made some contribution into a wider movement of making therapy mainstream. And going forward, I think it's great if we can continue to speak openly about our experiences in therapy, how helpful they are, and what it's like to undertake that kind of work. So continuing to be vocal about it might well help in in this project of destigmatizing therapy. If anyone is considering going into therapy, I would just say look inwards and see whether now it could be a good time for you. Try and weigh up the pros and cons to see whether you think that you might gain something from it, and then go on the search for a great therapist.